Welcome to the Rulebook Tavern Chronicles, where we are talking about role-playing games. Today, we will be diving deep into the Oracle class,
Oh, the Oracle.
a spellcaster who walks a path intertwined with divine power and a mysterious curse.
Yeah, it's a fascinating class. It really digs into that whole idea of power with a price.
Right.
You get incredible magical abilities,
Yeah.
but there's always this underlying tension, the sense that something's a little off.
It's not your typical goody-two-shoes cleric.
Right, exactly.
So what are some of the core things that make an oracle tick?
Well, first and foremost, their magic comes from a divine source, be it a god, a spirit, or some other powerful entity. But unlike a cleric who might be like a devoted servant, the oracle's connection is more complicated. Their power is directly tied to their curse, a mystery that shapes their abilities and gives them unique strengths and weaknesses.
So how does that actually play out, mechanically?
Well, wisdom is key. It's their most important attribute, driving their spellcasting and shaping their connection to their curse. Mechanically, they're prepared spellcasters, meaning they choose their spells ahead of time from a divine spell list. But here's where it gets interesting. Their curse isn't just a flavor thing. It has a real impact on how they play.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these curses. What kind of drawbacks are we talking about?
Well, it varies depending on the specific curse, which is tied to the oracle's mystery. For instance, an oracle of life might be an incredibly gifted healer,
Right.
but suffer from a frail constitution themselves. Or an oracle of battle might be this fierce warrior, but their curse could manifest as uncontrollable rage.
So there's a real trade-off, a constant tension between their power and their affliction. What are some of the upsides to playing an oracle then? Besides the whole, being touched by the divine thing.
Well, that divine magic is potent. They have access to some incredibly powerful spells for healing, protection, and even dealing damage. And their curses, while challenging, can actually be turned to their advantage in the right circumstances. Plus, they get unique abilities called revelations as they level up, which are tied to their mystery and represent a deepening understanding of their curse and its power.
So it's like their curse is evolving alongside them,
Right.
granting them new and surprising abilities. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
But let's be honest, there must be some downsides, right?
Of course. Managing that curse can be tricky. It's a double-edged sword that requires careful consideration. And while their spellcasting is impressive, they might not be as effective in direct combat as, dedicated martial classes.
So a bit of a glass cannon situation. High risk, high reward.
You could say that. It's a delicate balancing act. You need a good understanding of the curse mechanics to optimize their abilities and make sure the drawback doesn't overshadow the benefits.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to roll up an oracle, what are some good ancestry options to consider? Let's start with what we can find in the core rulebook.
Well, humans are always a solid pick for any class, right?
Yeah.
Because of their flexibility. That extra feat and skill training at first level can really help mitigate some of the curse's drawbacks. It's like a little safety net when you're just starting out.
That's a good point. Sometimes you just need that extra edge to make things work. Hey, what about something a little less human?
Elves have that innate magical aptitude that can synergize well with the oracle's mystical nature. Their Fey ancestry trait, giving them a bonus to saving throws against magic, can be particularly useful for an oracle.
Makes sense. So you've got your flexible humans and your magically inclined elves. What about backgrounds? What would fit well with the oracle's theme?
Well, the acolyte background is a classic choice for any divine spellcaster, right?
Right.
It provides knowledge and connections related to temples and deities, which fits right in with the oracle's divine nature.
Sure.
But here's where it gets interesting.
I'm always up for something interesting. Tell me more.
A criminal background can be incredibly compelling for an oracle whose curse stems from a past misdeed or a dangerous encounter in the underworld. It adds a layer of moral complexity to their character, a sense that they're trying to atone for their past while wrestling with these newfound powers.
Ooh, that's a great hook for a backstory. It's not just about divine power, it's about redemption, second chances. I love it. All right, so we've got ancestry and background to set the stage. Now let's talk about the heart of the oracle. Their spells. How do they choose their magical arsenal?
Well, spell selection for the oracle is directly tied to their chosen mystery. Each mystery grants access to a unique set of spells that thematically and mechanically enhance their abilities. It's all about creating a cohesive character concept.
So the mystery isn't just a flavorful curse. It actually dictates their spellcasting style, too.
Exactly. It's what makes each oracle feel so unique. For example, an Oracle of the Flames might have access to powerful fire spells, while an Oracle of the Waves might specialize in spells that manipulate water and ice. It all ties back to the source of their divine power and the nature of their curse.
That's amazing design.
Uh,
Can you give us some examples of particularly potent oracle spells that really showcase their power?
Cleanse Affliction is a great example. It's a healing spell that can also counter curses and diseases, which is incredibly thematic for a cursed character.
Hmm.
It shows that duality, that they're both afflicted yet able to heal. Then you have Divine Inspiration, which lets them refresh an ally's magic, making them a valuable asset to any party. It's a taste of that divine power they channel.
So they're not just about blasting enemies.
No, no.
They could be strategic healers and buffers too.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Anything that leans into the fearsome potential of an oracle.
Oh, definitely. Phantasmal Calamity is a prime example. It deals potent mental damage and can inflict conditions on those who fail their saving throws. It plays on that image of a powerful, maybe even fear-inducing oracle, wielding their curse as a weapon.
Okay, now that's a spell that definitely paints a vivid picture. You've given us a great overview of the oracle class so far, from their core mechanics to their spellcasting potential. But what does it actually look like to bring an oracle to life at the table? What advice would you give to someone playing this class for the first time?
The most important thing is to lean into that curse.
Yeah,
Don't just treat it as a mechanical hurdle.
Right.
Make it a central part of your character's story, their personality, their interactions with others. Think about how it manifests in their actions, their speech, even their appearance.
I love that. Turn the curse into a defining feature, not a detriment. What about when it comes to their spellcasting? Any strategic tips there?
Choose your spells with your mystery and playstyle in mind. Think about how your spells can either mitigate the drawbacks of your curse or actually enhance its benefits. And don't forget to manage those spell slots carefully. The curse might impose limitations, so every spell cast should be a calculated decision.
It sounds like playing an oracle is a real balancing act, a mix of tactical thinking and nuanced role-playing.
Exactly. It's a class that rewards players who are willing to think outside the box and embrace the unexpected.
All right, this has been incredibly helpful. I think we've got a pretty good grasp on the basics of the oracle class, but I'm still itching to know more about these mysteries.
Well, that's what we're here for. Let's delve into those next, shall we?
Let's do it. I'm ready to uncover more secrets of the oracle.
So we've talked about how the Oracle's curse is directly tied to their mystery,
Right.
but what exactly are these mysteries?
Yeah, I'm ready to dive into that.
Okay,
They sound so unique and full of possibilities.
they really are. Each mystery represents a different source of the Oracle's power and the nature of their curse. It's like a fundamental truth about the universe that they've tapped into, but at a cost.
So give me an example. What's a mystery that really showcases that, power with the price concept?
The life mystery is a great one.
Okay.
An Oracle of Life is all about healing, vitality, and the cycle of life and death.
Mm-hmm.
They can mend wounds, cure diseases, and even bring people back from the brink.
Wow.
But their curse
Yeah.
might be a constant drain on their own life force, a fragility that makes them vulnerable even as they heal others.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah.
It's like they're sacrificing a part of themselves to help others. What about something a little more intense?
The battle mystery definitely fits that bill.
Okay.
An Oracle of Battle is a whirlwind of divine fury, a warrior who channels divine power to enhance their combat prowess. But their curse could manifest as a berserker rage, a bloodlust that's difficult to control and could endanger even their allies.
Okay, so a raging barbarian with divine magic.
Right. That's a
Oh.
terrifying combination.
Yeah, it can be pretty scary.
What other mysteries can you tell us about?
Well, we've got the Bones mystery,
Okay.
where the oracle draws power from death and undeath.
Ooh, spooky.
Their curse could be a skeletal appearance, an unsettling aura that makes people uneasy around them.
So they're like a spooky, gothic necromancer with a divine twist. What about something a bit more elemental?
We've got that covered too. The Flame mystery grants control over fire magic,
Okay.
but the oracle might be constantly burning with an inner flame,
Oh.
making them vulnerable to cold, or perhaps causing them to unintentionally ignite objects around them.
So they're like a walking, talking inferno. That's intense.
It can be pretty dramatic.
How many of these mysteries are there?
There are quite a few, each offering unique abilities and curses to match different playstyles. You could have an Oracle of the Heavens wielding the power of storms in the sky,
Right.
or an Oracle of Time manipulating the flow of time itself.
Oh, okay.
So many possibilities. It really highlights the diversity of the Oracle class.
Yeah, it really does.
Okay, you've definitely sold me on the mysteries themselves.
Good.
But how do these curses actually work in the game? Do they just impose a constant penalty?
Not necessarily. Some curses have a static effect, like a reduced ability score or a vulnerability to a specific type of damage. But many curses have a dynamic element tied to the Oracle's curse-bound state.
Curse-bound state? That sounds ominous.
It can be.
What does it mean exactly?
When the Oracle uses certain class features, especially their most potent abilities, they become more and more curse-bound. Think of it like they're pushing their luck, drawing more power from their curse.
Yeah.
As they do, the curse's effects intensify.
So the more they tap into their power, the more they risk succumbing to the curse.
Right, exactly. It's a risk-reward kind of thing.
That's a really interesting mechanic.
Yeah, it is.
It creates this high-risk, high-reward dynamic that players have to manage carefully. Do they hold back and play it safe? Or do they risk everything to unleash the full extent of their power?
Yeah,
It's a constant source of tension and drama.
absolutely. Keeps things exciting.
I can see that. It adds a whole other layer of strategy to playing an Oracle.
For sure.
Okay, so we've covered the curse, the mystery, and the curse-bound state. Is there
Mhm.
anything else we need to know about these mysteries?
Well, each mystery also grants access to a unique set of revelations,
Right.
which are special abilities. The Oracle games, as they level up,
Okay.
they represent a deeper understanding of their curse and its power, granting them new ways to utilize it.
So it's like their curse is evolving alongside them, granting them new and surprising abilities as they grow in power.
Exactly.
What are some examples of these revelations?
An Oracle of the Waves might gain a revelation that lets them breathe underwater or command aquatic creatures. An Oracle of the Void might learn to channel the power of nothingness, inflicting debilitating conditions on their foes.
Ooh, that's spooky and awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It sounds like these revelations can really change how an Oracle plays at higher levels.
For sure, yeah. They add a layer of customization and allow the Oracle to further specialize in their chosen mystery, turning their curse into a source of strength.
I'm starting to see why the Oracle class is so popular.
Yeah.
It's this amazing blend of unique mechanics, flavorful role-playing, and tactical depth.
That's a good mix, yeah.
But with so many options, I feel a little overwhelmed.
For sure.
Where should someone even start when building an Oracle?
The most important thing is to choose a concept that speaks to you, right?
Right.
What kind of story do you want to tell? What kind of Oracle calls to you?
Mhm.
Once you have that general idea, you can start diving into the specifics of the mysteries and curses.
So start with the story, then build the mechanics around it. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Any tips for actually choosing a mystery?
Think about what kind of powers and curses appeal to you. Do you want to be a healer, a warrior, a manipulator of minds, or something else entirely? Each mystery has a unique flavor and playstyle, so choose one that aligns with your vision for the character.
So you're saying I need to consider both the mechanical benefits and the role-playing implications of the curse.
Exactly.
Okay.
The curse is at the heart of the Oracle class, so it's crucial to choose one you'll enjoy playing with, both in terms of mechanics and role-playing.
All right. I think I'm starting to get a handle on this, but I still have one more question. How do I make sure my Oracle's curse doesn't completely overshadow the rest of my character?
Yeah,
I don't want to be defined solely by my affliction.
that's a great question. The key is to integrate the curse into your character's personality and backstory, rather than letting it dominate them.
Okay.
Think about how the curse has shaped their life, their beliefs, their relationships. Has it made them bitter, determined, or perhaps even humorous? Use the curse as a tool to add depth and complexity to your character, rather than letting it define them entirely.
So it's about finding that balance between embracing the curse and maintaining your character's individuality.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
The curse is a powerful element of the Oracle class, but it's ultimately up to the player to decide how it shapes their character's journey. It's a tool for storytelling, not a straitjacket.
That's reassuring to hear. I was worried playing an oracle meant sacrificing my character's agency to the curse.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The curse is a catalyst, a source of conflict and growth. It's up to you to decide how your character reacts to it, overcomes it, or perhaps even embraces it as part of who they are.
I love that. It's like the curse is this springboard for creativity and role-playing, not a limitation.
Exactly.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the curse and the mystery.
Right.
But what about the, divine part of the oracle?
Yeah.
What makes their magic different from, say, a wizard or a sorcerer?
Ah, yes, the source of the oracle's power.
Right.
Unlike wizards who study and master arcane formulas or sorcerers who channel innate magical energy, the oracle's power comes from a divine source. This could be a god, a powerful spirit, or some other entity that has granted them a portion of their power.
So it's like they're a conduit for divine energy, but with that added twist of the curse.
Precisely.
Okay.
This connection to a higher power imbues their magic with a unique flavor, often focused on healing, protection, or divination. But it also raises questions about their relationship with that power.
Right.
Do they serve it willingly, resent its influence, or struggle to understand its mysterious ways?
Ooh, that adds a layer of moral and spiritual complexity to their character. It's like they're wrestling with fate and free will.
Exactly.
This is getting deep.
Yeah.
I love how much depth the Oracle class brings to the game.
It's a lot to unpack.
It's not just about slinging spells. It's about exploring those complexities of faith, destiny, and the human condition.
Absolutely. It goes beyond just the mechanics.
I'm so glad we had a chance to dive into all this.
Yeah, me too.
Now, I know our listeners are eager to hear more about how to actually play an Oracle in a game.
Sure.
What tips and tricks do you have for bringing this complex and intriguing class to life at the table?
So, to pick up where we left off, think about managing that curse-bound state. It's a core part playing an oracle, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's like you want to tap into that power, but you know there's a price.
Exactly. Like walking a tightrope, pushing your luck for those potent abilities, but not so far that it backfires.
Right. Any advice for how to, walk that tightrope effectively?
Well, first, you got to know your limits. Plan ahead. Figure out what triggers your curse-bound state and how you can minimize those downsides. Some curses, for example, might make you more vulnerable to certain types of damage.
Oh, right.
So maybe you invest in some items or spells to help with that. Like if your curse makes you vulnerable to cold, a simple cloak of warmth could be a lifesaver.
That's a good point. So it's not just about having the powerful spells. It's about being prepared for the potential consequences.
Exactly. And speaking of preparation, don't forget about those revelations. They can really change how you manage the curse.
Yeah, we talked about those earlier. They sound pretty amazing. How can they help?
Well, some revelations actually give you more control over your curse.
Okay.
Or even let you turn it to your advantage. Think of an Oracle of the Flame, right? Maybe they get a revelation that helps them channel their inner fire more effectively, give them a better handle on that destructive power.
So the curse isn't this static thing that's just hanging over your head.
Yeah.
It's something you can learn to work with as you gain experience.
Absolutely. The revelations let you shape that relationship with the curse, make it fit your character's story and how you like to play.
This is making me really want to roll an Oracle. But there are so many options. Mysteries, revelations. It's a lot to take in.
I hear ya. It can definitely feel overwhelming.
Where should someone even begin?
My advice, don't get bogged down in the mechanics right away.
Okay.
Start with a concept that grabs you.
Okay.
What kind of story are you trying to tell? What's your Oracle's personality like? Once you have a clear picture of the character, the mechanics will kind of fall into place.
So start with the heart of the character, then worry about the numbers.
Exactly.
Now, for those players who are more mechanically minded, how do they choose a mystery? Based on how they like to play.
Oh, for sure. If you're the type who likes to be in the thick of combat, charging into the fray, maybe a mystery like battle or war would suit you.
Makes sense.
But if you prefer a more controlling style, manipulating the battlefield, outsmarting your opponents, then look into mysteries like heavens or time.
Okay.
And then there's always life, of course, if healing and supporting your allies is more your thing.
It's amazing how much variety there is. There really is an Oracle mystery out there for everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And remember, you don't have to stick to just one class. You can always multi-class.
Right. Multi-classing. Combine different classes.
Yeah. So maybe you want to blend the divine power of the Oracle with the martial skills of a fighter. Or mix in some arcane knowledge from the wizard class.
So many possibilities.
The sky's the limit, really.
We could do a whole deep dive just on multi-classing.
For sure.
We'll have to save that for another time. For now, let's finish up with the Oracle. Any final thoughts on this class?
Well, for me, the Oracle really shows the power of imagination in RPGs.
Right.
It's all about embracing the unexpected, finding strength in places you might not expect. And it encourages you to tell stories that are, well, personal.
I like that. It's more than just mechanics.
Exactly.
Well, you've definitely given me a lot to think about. I'm ready to start brainstorming some Oracle characters. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's been awesome exploring the world of the Oracle with you.
Happy to be here. It's always fun talking about the Oracle.
Hope you enjoyed this podcast with us, and see you soon to talk about other classes.